Get ready for Drive Time with the Poor Man. Starting now.
Ah, you did the bomb again. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another Drive Time with the Poor Man? I'm here on a Friday. Friday, I've heard, is my worst day ratings-wise. Maybe it's the karma of other shows that are on at the same time. Almost. But I will try to slog through the riffraff, the doubters, and of course, all my millions of non-fans to bring you the best program possible on a Friday. Because tonight, I'm in New York City. I can't say how much longer. And I am going to go to the San Gennaro Italian Festival. Like, if you ever saw the Godfather movies, Godfather 2, where Robert De Niro was on the roof running away from some thug, they have this festival for 10 days every year. It's like 7 or 8 blocks of all Italian, but I mean real Italian. And then you can drink some wine, drink some beers, eat some food. I love it. I really love it. And so that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, we do have a guest. He's coming up. And also our very popular feature, which we just started 2 days ago, Hater Bro. Yes, I'm going to have to reluctantly bring it back for a third day. Just to give you an idea of what to look forward to. Today on Hater Bro, I will be featuring the Stalker, the Fat Pig, Butchie, and once again, the backstabbing surf reporter. Oh, and that's all coming up later on. But in the meantime, I hope beyond belief. Is he there? Is Brian there?
I'm here. How you doing, man?
Brian from High Impact Flix. I just want to let everybody know. Struggling, screaming, retching, whatever it may be, we have become the official radio show of YouTube, the official mainstream radio show. And anybody who thinks we're mainstream is full of SH, because we are about as far from mainstream as you can get. But we realize how big YouTube is. We realize how many stars there are on YouTube, and we are so psyched to have some of the YouTube stars come on. And this is Brian from High Impact Flix. To give you an idea of how successful he is, he has 151,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And Flix is spelled F-L-I-X, by the way. And how many views have you had, Brian? You obviously 151,000 subscribers. How many views of all your videos?
Well, currently I'm getting about 1.5 to 2 million views a month, and cumulatively, because I used to go by another name, One Truth for Life, and that channel was kind of shut down, but cumulatively I have about 18 million views.
That is insane. Since what year?
Well, I started in March of 2010, but I didn't actually post my first video until late of 2012.
Hey, well, hold on just a second, Brian. I'm hearing something in the background, whoever's in the studio, and you might want to lower the conspiracy music just a bit, but I'm hearing you in the background, Di. As much as I love you, and I do love you. All right, so back to you, Brian, with High Impact Flix. Since what year?
Well, I started in 2010, started the channel, but I didn't post my first video until late 2012.
And how many videos do you have up now that you've made since you started?
Boy, I don't know. I think I have 110, 120, somewhere around there.
I hear it starts and it's really hard to get going, and then it snowballs.
Yeah, and I think YouTube kind of messes with view counts. If you're a YouTuber out there, you pretty much know what I mean. But you'll look at your analytics one day, and you'll have, you'll get 10,000 views one day or 70,000 views, and the next day it just seems like they turn off the water and the whole thing gets shut down, almost down to zero. But then it picks back up. But yeah, it is kind of cumulative.
We actually started our YouTube channel, and is it okay if I plug it, even though you're my guest? You're the first. This is the first time I've ever plugged it on the radio.
Hey, it's your channel, and all those millions of non-fans that you have, they'll really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's we now have our own YouTube channel. It's called the YouTube Radio Show, and YouTube is all one word. That's we of course are saying we're the official radio show of YouTube, and we certainly hope everybody on YouTube picks up on that, because we want to interview as many YouTube stars as we can. And so, Brian, I guess your big thing is reporting the truth, almost similar in a way as the man we had yesterday, Professor Doom, and you know, I guess people loosely would call you a conspiracy theorist as well. And some of your videos are really interesting. Like, you'll take clips from old movies and TV shows and put them together and make messages out of that. Or I noticed you, like Professor Doom yesterday, also doubt that the shooting of the reporter and her cameraman really happened. Like, you think that that may also not have happened, as he was saying. But what are the big headlines right now that you're really getting into on High Impact Flix? That's Flix on YouTube.
Well, I'll tell you, if I have a second, I do want to shout out to Lisa Haven, because I found out about you guys through her and through her channel. And just want to give a quick shout out to beforeitsnews.com. And I did have the pleasure of talking to Professor Doom, as a matter of fact, just a couple hours ago. So I totally identify with what you say about him. He does really great work. And if anybody's got an opportunity to go visit his channel, he's got a lot of good stuff on there. But
yeah, and also a shout out from me to those guys. I mean, I'm stoked all you guys are coming on the show. Continue. I'm sorry.
I'm pumped too, man. Can you plug your channel again? I was trying to find it today. What's the name of your channel?
It's called the YouTube Radio Show, and I even mentioned that to my producer, Pat Matthews. I don't know how you can find it, because I guess you can't have it custom made until you have gotten a certain number of subscribers or something like that.
Okay, the YouTube Radio Show. I'll try to look that up when I get off the line with you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to put your interview up there, too.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to see if we could do that, because I tried to plug your show on my channel. I don't know if you got my tweet. I created maybe a 40-second video just kind of letting people know about your channel. Yeah,
you know, I did, and I want to thank you for that. I actually retweeted it about 15 minutes before the show. That was really cool of you to do that. Honestly, that's really nice of you to pump us.
No problem, man. If you need any more help, you know, I think we're all in this thing together. We just want to uncover truth and find out what the fact of what's going on is, so we can help people out. I think that's basically our goal.
What do you think is the biggest issue right now that you're concerned with? I mean, obviously we've heard that there's a meteor that might be hitting Earth next Wednesday. Then we've heard about this sort of fake murder that went on with the reporter and her cameraman. But what is, forgetting what I'm saying, what is the biggest issue right now that you are concerned with?
I think probably the biggest issue for Americans, and really by extension the world, is finding out who owns the very thing that we use to sustain life every day, and that's our money supply. And of course, I'm talking about the Federal Reserve, which is such an enormous giant that nobody wants to talk about, and everybody has extremely great misconception about this organization. It's not federal by any means. I mean, you've heard the pun, they're no more federal than Federal Express. It's just a private banking cartel that controls the money supply of the United States, the UK, and it's backed by oil, the petrodollar. You know, people have heard about the petrodollar, but I don't think the common person knows exactly the history of our dollar and the ramifications of the things that we carry around in our pocket every day. And that's why I created the video that I have, you know, how to control the world in 12 easy steps or whatever. I can't remember what the name I put on it. It currently, before it was taken down by YouTube, before it had over 150,000 views, I managed to redo it, put both parts together, and now it has a little bit over 100,000. But I think of all the videos that I've produced, that's probably one of the most important, because it does impact everything that we do every day of our lives. And everybody that you ever come in contact with has been touched in a massive, not just in some way, but in a massive way. Because you can't go through life without spending those Federal Reserve notes. No matter
why did YouTube take it down? What did you say in your video?
You know, I'm not sure, because it hasn't been taken down yet. And when I did it before, I did it in 2 parts, and it was about 11 or 12 minutes each video. Now I've combined them both. Now it's a 22 to 24-minute video. I'm not sure. I monetize some of my videos, and some of them I don't monetize. And, you know, they initially took the monetization ability off that video, and then the video was removed. But there was no excuse given or anything.
What is the most shocking thing you think the Federal Reserve is doing that people need to know?
Well, Mayor Amschel Rothschild, back in the day, at least this quote is attributed to him, and even if it didn't come from him, it is the mentality of international bankers today. It says, if you give me the ability to control the nation's money supply, any nation's money supply, I care not who makes its laws. And I mean, that's for real, because if you look at Congress, if you look at any kind of government entity, their motivation is money. You get pulled over by a cop for a speeding ticket or a seatbelt violation, what are they going to do from you? They're going to give you a ticket, which means they're going to extract money from you. And the only reason that the government has that power is because we have a fiat currency system that has no government regulation, no private regulation. It's just a bunch of elitist bankers who want to put more money in their pockets off the backs of taxpayers.
And what do you think they're doing to exploit us?
Well, inflation is a very it's a great way to exploit, because if you could buy something for $1.50 today, but in 10 years that thing that you paid $1.50 for 10 years ago is now something that's going to cost you $10. That has dramatically reduced your buying power for that dollar that you have in your pocket. That's pretty sinister, because if you think about it, you and I work 8 to 10 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week, and we can only keep 65, 66% of what we work for. The other 33 to 35% goes in the pockets of somebody you don't even know. It's pretty sinister.
We're going to be back in just a moment with High Impact Flix. Did I say that correctly? Flix?
High Impact Flix, that's correct.
And this is Brian, who runs that channel, and we will find out more about the Federal Reserve and some other things that really concern him as we continue here with Drive Time with the Poor Man, right after this. Beep! Friday afternoon, Drive Time! I can't wait to get to Hater Bro coming up in about 10 minutes. Hater Bro is going to be good today. Very good. But in the meantime, we go back to High Impact Flix. We are the official radio show of YouTube every day from now on for the remainder of my career, which who knows how long that will be. I am going to be featuring a different YouTube star, and just because they're on once doesn't mean they won't come back either. But I think it's very important with the amazing things that are happening on YouTube, and I'm just finding out about it. I mean, we've got gamers who are 18, 19 years old. They're making so much money off the monetization of their videos that they're driving Maseratis. We've got, what's that? Jenna Marbles, I heard, is making $500,000 a month through endorsements in YouTube, like 8 or 9 million a year. And I'm guessing High Impact Flix, which has 151,000 subscribers. That's my guess now right now. Are you making your living off YouTube? I mean, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but Brian, is it making you a living and doing this?
No, I got a day job, and I own another business, so it's kind of something I just do on the side because I enjoy it.
But are you making some coin doing it, hopefully?
I make a little bit of money because, like I said, I do monetize some, not all of my videos. But, my hat's off to people who really get in there, do the research, and put a great video together that people are just interested in from the beginning to the end, because I'm one of those people that personally just hates editing, because you got to sit down there for hours, cut and slice, make sure everything looks good, rerun your video, watch it, make sure that when you put it live, and in the back of your mind, once it goes live, there's no taking it back unless you want to remove all your views. So I totally appreciate everybody out there who puts out good content. You
said you personally like editing, or you hate it?
No, I hate it. Editing is not my thing at all, but it's something you got to do because, I'm a team of one. It's just me, so I don't have a staff.
Hey, Brian, before we continue, Di, I think your mic may be on. Either that or I'm hearing you. I'm hearing her going, like she's having an orgasm or sex in the background or something.
I'm in my car, so if you hear things, that's probably the rumble of the engine. I don't know.
No, I'm hearing her in the studio.
It's not me. I wasn't talking.
Okay, it's turning me on. I'm getting, becoming the three-legged warrior right now. Okay, so we talked about the Federal Reserve. Tell us something else in our segment here that you are doing videos on, or that you really are you really want people to know about that they may be surprised exists?
Well, my goal in high impact Flix I got started because I got involved in the Ron Paul campaign, and then I started realizing what a sham the political system was. You know, you got Republicans and Democrats, and really I found out that the Republicans and Democrats, because, you know, they stayed on a separate team, but they're fighting for the same people, and that's the guys behind the curtain pulling the strings. But I put high impact Flix together because I want to create content that's actually useful to the viewer, not just for your education so you can accumulate some kind of cerebral information, but for your enjoyment, motivation, inspiration, entertainment. You know, who doesn't like to be entertained? But my entertainment kind of has a purpose because I want people to walk away with, hey, what's the reality? What's going on in this life? What is it that they've taught us in public schools, for example, that's just not something that you can believe in? Like, for example, I got a video out there called 23 Crazy Facts About Hitler and World War II most people don't know. Here's an example. During the war, the Allies dropped so many bombs that over 5,500 World War II era bombs are discovered in Germany every year to this day. That's an average of 15 bombs that they find today, every single day. So that's just one example of one of the videos I have. I have another video called Abe Lincoln, What They Won't Tell You in School. And I just point out there, and I use Lincoln's own debates and his own articles and the things that he published to his generals to show that, hey, Abe Lincoln was a racist, you know, by his own admission. He actually said to Douglas when he was debating him, he said, I, as well as Judge Douglas, am in favor of the race to which I belong having the superior position. And, of course, that's the white race.
But I thought I thought he was into abolishing slavery.
Yeah, he did, but that wasn't his goal. And I go through in the video. I just take facts from history, and I tell people the quotes and what this guy actually said according to the Library of Congress. If they have any argument, it's not with me. It's not something that I said or wrote down. I just use Abraham Lincoln's own words that is not taught in public school. I mean, he's hailed as this guy who broke the bonds of the shackles of slavery, you know. But really, that wasn't his goal. His goal was to keep the Union together, and he would have done anything, whether it's keep slavery legal or make it illegal, to accomplish that end.
What else?
My most popular video, though, which I was sort of surprised, is a video called 15 Disturbing 9/11 Facts You'll Wish Weren't True. And for some reason, I have over 3.2 million views on that. But I go over things that, you know, the average person watching mainstream media just will not get informed about. Like, for example, the official 9/11 report states that Flight 93 crash landed in Shanksville, a borough in Somerset, Pennsylvania. And Wally Miller, who was a Somerset County coroner, which was one of the first on the crash site, told the Houston Chronicle, and I'm going to quote here, it looked like somebody just dropped a bunch of metal out of the sky. He told the Washington Post, it looked like somebody just took a scrap truck, dug a 10-foot ditch, and dumped trash into it. And then he told the Pittsburgh Review, he said, I have not to this day seen a single drop of blood. So the coroner in Shanksville admits there were no bodies at the crash site of Flight 93. And so what I do with my channel is I just let people, if they want to argue with me, they have to argue with just the facts based on, you know, what history records.
What's another fact about 9/11? We got about a minute left, so if you could tell me quickly.
Well, it's a fact pretty much everybody now knows, even outside of the truther realm, is that Building 7 went down in its own footprint. It's the third building that went down today, and on that day, you had Building 1, Building 2, and Building 7. And Building 7 went down in its own footprint. It went down at 5:20, and it's the smoking gun, basically. They're going to tell me that a 47-story steel frame office structure completely failed every joint, every column at the exact same time without getting hit by an airplane. That's incredible.
Do you have a video about who shot Kennedy?
I do have a Kennedy video on there. Yeah, it's probably on page 3 on my channel. And
you're doubting the facts as they were presented for that?
The whole video deals with the single bullet theory and what a scam that is.
All right. Hey, listen, Brian from High Impact Flix, you've been an awesome guest, and we didn't have long enough, but I definitely would love to have you back, and hopefully you want to come back.
Hey, I'd love to be back, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm honored to be here.
Okay. Is that all you want to plug? High Impact Flix, Flix, on YouTube, right?
Yeah, on YouTube, I have a website, highimpactflix.com. And, hey, guys, check me out on Facebook, Facebook/highimpactflix, and tweet me. I'll tweet you back. It's Twitter at highimpactflix.
With FLIX. Okay, thanks, Brian. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you so much, man. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, another edition of Hater Bro!